No, you're supposed to. You said you're
All
ready
right.
to speak.
Well, I want to welcome everybody today to Ocean Casino
Speak
Resort.
up, man. Speak up.
Ocean Casino Resort. We have famous Jack Whelan, our executive chef. We have famous Joe Pardo from the Philly area. On the grind and hustle, as always. I wanted to say hello to everyone and say welcome to Ocean. Joe, you're on.
Thank you so much. I'll get Casey later. Jack, it is a pleasure. It's my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your experience and how you got tied in with Ocean and like, because you've been in Atlantic City for a long time, I've heard.
Sure. I mean, I started in Atlantic City in 1979 and opened up Resorts International, and from there, worked through the city, had a great experience. I left the city for a short time, and our vice president of food and beverage, Vince Turano, gave me a call, said that, who I worked with previous at two different properties, and said, I'm doing something great down the north end of the boardwalk. Would you be interested? And I said, I'll be right over. From there, with Vince's direction and his vision, we sat down and we collaborated on a lot of these restaurants, and we're constantly improving and looking for the next best, so that we can establish and maintain our reputation as the best casino in Atlantic City.
I absolutely love that. I mean, I get to see the billboards coming down. You know, it's always great to see, like, hey, that's where we're going to be. You know, having MapCon, MapCon 5. So, tell me a bit about, from the business side of things, as far as like, what does food bring to the table for the experience?
Well, food is our passion. There's no greater love or more sincere than the love of food. So we live by that. We look for the best products. We look for partners that have the same passion as we do, and looking for the best products out there, the freshest ingredients. We have great talent around here. And I always tell my chefs, I don't micromanage unless I have to, and very seldom do I have to. A lot of pride in this property. We say that Ocean is a Las Vegas casino that got dropped on the north end of the boardwalk. There's no better platform, no better canvas in this area for us to practice our trade.
I couldn't agree more. I think that I think it's a great, not only property, but the people that I've met so far have been great. And what I want to know is, when it comes to managing, you say you don't like to micromanage, right? But like, from a business standpoint, from a management standpoint, when do you feel like it's that time to step in and like make a, not a change with personnel, but a change to like the food, or change to the experience as a whole?
Well, I always say that I'm kind of like a stage mom. I like to put my chefs on stage. We do get involved and we collaborate, and that's the best thing about Ocean. There's no giant egos. We sit down and we speak about our passion, which is food, and we have great discussions. And it's just not the chefs, it's our front of the house partners. We have an expression in here, we don't have front of the house, back of the house, we have tile and carpet. So that transition from the front of the house to the back of the house is just walking. There's no barriers. So between our tenure in the business with our chefs, there's well over 1,000 years worth of experience here. And everybody brings something to the table. And that's where the fun starts, when we have those discussions about food.
Now, Jack, the question I always ask everyone when they come on my podcast or anything like that is, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you envision yourself as doing all of this great stuff on a higher level, right? Because a lot of times the chefs that I know, they like to be in the kitchen and like, doing the thing, not just overseeing the thing. And I'm not sure what level you're cooking versus seeing, but...
I've been an executive chef in a couple properties in Atlantic City, and you do get removed from the food. About 2 years ago, I went out of the casinos and went back into the public restaurants. And I always said it was like going down to the minor leagues and work on my swing. And when I was working at a private club, I cooked every day, I worked the line every day, and I got my batting average up. So I'm still back in there, I'm still touching the food and creating great dishes.
That's awesome. So what did you envision yourself being when you grew up?
Well, I come from a long line of construction workers. I'd love to say that, I stood in my mother's kitchen, but really I was an iron worker with my father and his brothers, my uncles, and my grandfather. But the independence of being in the culinary field I was able to travel around, and I love that independence. Before my father passed away, I know he was proud that I took this trade. He wasn't disappointed that I held up the hard hat for a chef's toque. So as we go through life, each step was a great adventure for me, and all new challenges.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's definitely it's no like easy job. It's no phone-in job to be a chef, line cook,
No.
or chef in any kitchen. So that's awesome.
Well said, well said.
Well, thank you so much, Jack. I really
All right?
appreciate
How's
the time.
Philly doing? I'm a Philly boy.
Oh, you are?
Born and
Where
bred.
part of Philly?
Northeast Philly.
Northeast Philly. Very cool. Very cool. It's very
Tell
very
us
cool.
about the meats.
Oh, the meats here. Yes.
So American Cut, we go out and we have a boutique meat cuttery. It's Indian Ridge, and we have a connection with those people there that we have our steaks dry aged, 28 days. We do site visits over there to make sure the standards are right, and it's a great product they deliver to us. And if you haven't tried American Cut, you have to get out there and try some of our signature cuts. We have a huge, what we call like the Fred Flintstone chop. We have a long bone ribeye. All our fish is brought in fresh and sustainable.
Yeah.
And it's a great venue over there. I've got a great talents, great cocktails over there. It's a must-have.
I will definitely be checking out over the next 4 days.
Well, we go back, and again, we only look for the best products out there. We use a free-range chicken, and what we do, our Vice President of Food and Beverage is not afraid to come up and check products out. So he has a good experience with what's going on in the kitchens, and we just live up to his expectations as well as mine.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you're very happy with the experience that you've had, I assume, being here because you've been the head chef since it opened, right? Or the
That's
executive
correct.
chef since it opened.
We came on board probably a good 4 months before we opened the doors, so we got this thing kick-started and up and running.
That's awesome.
And it was great. It was like it was like driving a Ferrari with 100 miles on it. Everything was loaded, it was fresh, it was clean, and we had the tools to practice our trade.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Jack.
It's my
I really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Okay, Philly
Looking
boys,
forward
we
to
got to
it.
stick
Yeah, man,
together.
obviously.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe Pardo. Super Joe Pardo right here.
Thank you, Casey.
Jack.